2.5 years ago, my son was 9 years old and he'd been struggling with bullying a lot, third grade on up. He's on the spectrum, but very high functioning on the spectrum to the point you probably wouldn't have picked him up years ago, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Brilliant, but really struggles with some of the other things.
Yeah.
So he came home, struggling back and forth once again, IEP meetings, and
Oh,
nothing's
yeah.
working. And I was already kind of feeling in my spirit, like, hey, maybe we should bring him home. I got this going. Maybe it'd be easier if we weren't one toe in one and one in the other.
Right.
Um, but the day I found him, guys, at 9 years old, don't you think about this? 9 years old, under his bed, screaming, I would rather die than go back there another day.
Oh,
That was it.
yeah.
I thought, I am never doing this again. I am not going down that path, whether it is fear and in his mind, whether it is actual. And this was a child who was
That
coming home
is a
with
very
marks
good
on his,
point. Yeah.
right? Whether it was marks on his body that he was coming with, or his stuff was being stolen in class, or he had his head thrown in a urinal and stuff, whatever it was, he was in a bad place. And I thought, I'm not doing that because there is nothing that that school can offer that is worth my son's soul. And I
No.
brought my baby home. And literally, guys, when you talk about a damaged and broken child, there were no smiles.
Yeah.
None.
No.
None. I mean, if you, for those of you out there who know our family from that February, March, April, May timeframe, it took a year and a half that he would even trust other people. He became recluse and hid. We couldn't go to the grocery store unless other kids were in school. We went to a field trip with homeschoolers and he hid behind me and he had the attitude of, I'm going to hurt them before they hurt me. He did not trust teachers, anybody, because he had asked for help in his school. He'd always been told, ask for help. He did, and they didn't help him. No one helped him. And
Wow.
so the only person, even my husband, his brother, no one could be near him. Night terrors. I mean, you talk about PTSD and bullying and night terrors, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, every night forever. And we ended up getting him a service dog about a year ago. And so that's helped a lot. We worked with him on therapy, lots of things, right? Lots of things in our story to get him to a place of healing. But that child was 9 when we pulled him out, turning 10 like a month later, right? So he just turned 12. He is now a published author. He now speaks on service dogs and visible disabilities and gives his proceeds back to veterans so that they can have the service dogs for psychiatric treatments they need. He has started college. I mean, not college, wrong kid. Started high school, wrong kid. Started high school, Spanish early, and is really on par with everything else. But more than that, he's happy again. He
That's the most important
smiles.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it to me is like, they're going to get there or they're not.
They, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
every child has their own pace, but if mentally they are in a place that they aren't good, they're not going to learn. And so
No,
many parents just go bypass. Well, just get over that.
they
That
can't.
is, you can't do that. No.
The trauma that's there, and that's why we do the work we do at Bullied, Broken, Redeemed, is my passion is in helping families that are leaving public or private school to homeschool, who are working with children who have some form of trauma, whether it's from bullying or anxiety or school phobia, which we end up finding out many times a lot of those things were compiled by what happened in the classroom. So we don't only educate and equip leaders, children, and their parents, but we help them work on the process of healing and trying to find passion in life again and finding their talents and help them sort of work through getting to a place of balance. And a big part of that, I adore the homeschool community. I this is where I serve, but these kids need so much more than knowing their laws and their curriculum.
Yeah.
It's everything else. Like once you can get them legal in their lane, the curriculum's way down here.
It
I mean,
is.
like throw it down in the. It's not. You cannot have a child who isn't. You've got to take care of their health. If their health isn't imbalanced and they're not at a place they can receive information, all of that trauma going on, you're just wasting your time.
It truly is a complete waste of time, and you're going to frustrate yourself more than anything, and your student, than just
Yeah.
setting aside. I love what you said. Mental health before math. character before curriculum.